In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan to prop up a failing communist government. They were met by the Mujahideen, holy warriors backed by the United States, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia. For 10 years, a brutal war raged, leaving over 1 million Afghans dead and the country in ruins. When the Soviets finally withdrew in 1989, they didn't leave peace. They left a power vacuum. Warlords, once united against the Soviets, turned their guns on each other, plunging the nation into a bloody civil war. From this chaos, a new force emerged. They called themselves the Taliban. The students, led by a reclusive village cleric named Mullah Omar, they were religious scholars from the Pashtun heartlands of southern Afghanistan. Their promise was simple and potent: to end the corruption, to stop the infighting, and to impose order through their own austere, unyielding interpretation of Islamic law. Fueled by piety, Pakistani support, and popular disgust with the warlords, their rise was meteoric. In 1994, they took Kandahar. By 1996, they had conquered Kabul. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan was born. The order the Taliban brought came at a terrible price. Music, television, and cinema were banned. Men were forced to grow beards. Women were erased from public life, forbidden from education and work, and forced behind the veil of the burqa. Justice was swift and brutal, dispensed in public squares and soccer stadiums. They sought to create a pure Islamic state, isolated from the modern world. Their campaign to erase history culminated in an act that horrified the world: the destruction of the 2,500-year-old Buddhas of Bamiyan, dynamited into dust. While they ruled, the Taliban also offered sanctuary to a guest, the wealthy Saudi jihadist Osama bin Laden and his al-Qaeda network. This alliance, forged in the fires of the anti-Soviet jihad, would be their undoing. On September 11, 2001, al-Qaeda struck America. The United States delivered an ultimatum to Mullah Omar: surrender bin Laden. Bound by a strict code of hospitality, he refused. The consequences were immediate. In October 2001, Operation Enduring Freedom began, a combination of American air power and anti-Taliban Afghan forces on the ground swept the regime from power in a matter of weeks. The black and white flag was torn down. The Taliban were defeated, but they were not destroyed. They retreated, regrouped, and began to wait. Their first reign was over, but their war was just beginning. Over the next 20 years, they would wage a long, grueling insurgency that would test the will of a superpower and tear at the very soul of the nation.